Hey guys, this is Mark Allen, BHSpringSolutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com, and this is Good Monday Morning with BHSpringSolutions on October 25th, 2021, and this is going to be a temporary video on YouTube. We're not going to be leaving this up for years, and because this is a very specific promotion with some very, very specific reasons and background behind it. We're going to share that with you, but the bottom line is we are having what we call a big bore promotion, and this could also be called because it's impossible to over prepare for winter promotion, and with winter coming on soon, this is a time of year that a lot of guys, for their defensive carry, for their home defense even, we start to think about larger calibers. We start to think about larger calibers because bad guys wear lots and lots of layers of clothing too. And so this is kind of the background or the reason for this. But there's some other history behind this as well. And earlier this year, when BHSpringSolutions acquired RDIH in Liège, Belgium, there were certain things that my partner Slav and I, could see and were able to see, actually years ago, that had happened with some of the products, and specifically the fast safety system or the SFS system. We of course have that same system for high power design pistols that covers 12 different guns, in the sense that 12 different high powers of either 12 different generations or manufacturers have been made to this point in history, and this one system is compatible in all of them. The 1911, I've started referring to this as the world's most versatile firearms modification, because I don't know how we would ever get an accurate number on how many 1911 platform guns that are obviously different guns. These four firearms, obviously, just from looking at them, they are all very different guns. We've got different calibers, we've got different barrel lengths, we've got different capacities. Very, very different, but they're all based on the 1911 platform. We've even got a double stack 10 millimeter here. We have, in our service department, put this same system on 3-inch barrel Kimbers. Kimber has a kind of still a 1911 platform, but a 3-inch 45, I think, and maybe other calibers as well, compatible on there. You see on these, here's a full-size 1911, that's a Remington. Here we have a Commander length, and that's a Magnum Research. We have a Officer's length, that's a Ruger, and I mentioned this is a Rock Island double stack 10 millimeter even, and this one system is compatible on all of them, and way more than 12 that the different guns that the high power SFS is compatible with. We literally don't even have any idea, but we know it's just a staggering number. And however, the market has never really been exposed to this product in the same way that it was exposed to the high power SFS. And what I mean is here is a 40. There were 40s and 9s that were sent to the United States, and the number somewhere up to as many as 5,000 came into the U.S. from the factory with the SFS system on, and this is like 5,000 advertisements for the high power SFS system. The 1911 SFS system has been an OEM operating system on a limited basis. We are told by Leon, 3 different manufacturers, I believe is accurate, who have used this very same system. Today we have law enforcement officers, private security people, border guards who are using this system. The SFS system was patented in the United States. The patent was issued in 2003. And it actually makes some very, very interesting reading, because this is Leon Hubert's complete explanation of what is this system and how does it work. So what the system is, for anybody who's watching this who is unfamiliar with the SFS, Safety Fast Shooting System, or the other name is Fast Safety, your carry position is just like that, and that is condition 1 with hammer forward, and a lot of benefits that come along with this. hammer drop safety that no 1911 has without this system is one additional safety feature. You pull the safety off and the hammer cocks, and now you are ready to fire. You put it on safe and you just push the hammer forward. The thing that law enforcement, and I think a lot of concealed carry people too, really appreciate about this system is in this book that I wrote a couple years ago. It's called Get Your Defensive House in Order. One of the things that we discuss in that book is when you take a firearm into society, you need to be prepared to lose it, because statistically it's a higher probability that you're going to have this thing taken away from you or lose it in a gun grab. Statistically higher probability than you're ever going to use that firearm to defend yourself or anyone or anything, just purely from statistics. So you need to be prepared to lose it. If you lose it, basically what we take into account is what the street knows is a lot about Glock and handguns that don't have an affirmative manual safety or firing pin block of some sort. And with the SFS system on your high power or on your 1911, when your hammer is in the forward position, safety is cammed up. At that point, your slide's locked. You can't rack the slide. You cannot cock the hammer. Pulling the trigger is absolutely useless. You also have the additional drop safety, hammer drop safety that's added in the system. However, when you pull the manual safety off just like that, all of those safeties are now unlocked and the firearm's ready to fire. The point is a system like this that is intuitive for the user, but a bit not familiar to a typical bad guy, I guess you'd say. This is what can or possibly can buy you that second and a half, hopefully, that is all you're going to need to get to the backup plan. And hopefully you're going to have one of those. That's the reality. Law enforcement and folks in private security and folks who carry a firearm for a living, they always have it in their mind about what's the plan in the event that I get this taken away from me, because none of us have eyes 360 degrees around our head, and it's one of the most common characteristics of a moment that requires defensive measures to defend an attack is that typically you don't see this coming. During our big bore promotion, or because it's impossible to be over prepared for winter promotion, and specifically the promotion of the 1911 SFS system, here's what we are going to do. All orders during this promotion, you're going to receive in your email a copy of the ebook, Get Your Defensive House in Order. And one of the things that we talk a lot about in this book is the reality that situations where people are put into a position that they must defend and attack, there's certain common characteristics. There's not a lot of common characteristics because they all happen differently, but some of the common characteristics are didn't see it coming. Another common characteristic is that the attacker or the bad guy automatically has several steps out ahead of the person who is the target or is the victim, and the necessity to make something happen that the aggressor does not see coming. And this past week, it was just interesting that something like this happened. This does not show you defensive use of a firearm, not actually in the video, but I'm going to try to see if we can actually show this. You may have seen this on television this week. This is going to play again. You have two guys coming into this convenience store, and one of them's got a gun right there, you see. And if you play with this video, it's all over the internet. I think it's Marine Disarms Gunman or something like this. What you're going to see, if you stop or pause the video at certain points, you're going to see that in about a second, this entire situation changed from the time the guy walks in with the gun, pointing it at the guy. And the rest of the background of this story is that kid is 14. the one that had the gun. We don't know about his buddy, his backup, who couldn't get out of the way fast enough. But the point is these two guys walking in, they got the element of surprise obviously on their side. However, the 14-year-old kid made the mistake of getting within arm's reach of the guy he was pointing the gun at, and our friend there, the Marine, he was within reach of his left hand. The left hand came up and got the gun up in the air or out of the way, and his right one clocked him, and apparently there was a significant amount of blood and maybe a broken nose, this kid or whatever. But my goodness, man, that's a 14-year-old who is in that kind of desperate need for a come to Jesus moment, and hopefully that was one. But it illustrates an important premise, and that is, in almost any defensive situation these days, you're in real life, you're not going to be standing erect in a certain perfect position with your firearm and have time to contemplate your shot. The kind of things we do at a shooting range, it doesn't happen that way. The necessity to make something happen that the aggressor hasn't planned for or the aggressor doesn't see coming, it scrambles the circuitry. You saw how it scrambled the circuitry when the first time something happened, that those two guys walking into the convenience store in that video, when something happened they didn't see coming, it just completely scrambled the circuitry. And the rest of what happened was the Marine got the gun, kept the kid on the floor. He didn't have any idea if there was 2, 3, 4, 5 more of him that were going to come back in the convenience store, but if they had, he had now had the gun, and the police came, and apparently the Marine asked this kid, how old are you? And the kid said, I'm only 14. And that video just encompasses so many concepts that we talk about here in the book, Get Your Defensive House in Order. We want you to have that for free. The focus right now is preparedness, and because it's impossible to be over-prepared for winter. And what we are going to be doing for BH veterans only, if you're watching this on YouTube and you are not a subscriber to the BHSpringSolutions email newsletter, be sure to do that, because that's how you find out how do I get this system. Right now, for only $69, if you have more than one 1911, your second one's going to be $59. And your third, fourth, and fifth one are going to be $49. We have a limited supply of these that we've allocated for this promotion specifically, and when those are gone, this promotion is going to end. Also during this promotion, you can send your 1911 to us, and you can have 1911 Essential professionally installed in our service department for a $100 bill. Plus $40 to send your firearm back to you, but for $100, that is the system, the SFS system installed on your 1911, and that's less than the regular retail price of the system itself. Our strategy in this is to bring our BH veterans along with us on this promotion. Our BH veterans are always the ones who step up and make everything possible for us to do. And our strategy is to get this system in use on a lot more 1911s, so those will be little beacons of influence in the marketplace, just like the 5000 high power SFS. We sell probably 5 to 1, 6 to 1 high power SFS compared to the 1911. There's no reason for it. They're the same system. They do the same things in essence. And for me, it makes going from a high power in the summer with the ambidextrous magazine catch, the ambidextrous safety, the extended slide stop in easy reach. The magazine release is tactical and not difficult to manipulate for fast mag changes. For me to run from that handgun to this handgun is just seamless, because the controls are all in the same places. They work the same. Everything happens the same, because it is the same system, just two different handguns, and the components of the system have to change a little bit in order to be a 1911 compatible system compared to the high power, but these systems also do share some parts. So that's what this promotion is all about. And we want as many BH veterans to be taking advantage of this as possible. When you become a subscriber to our email newsletter, you go to BHSpringSolutions.com. At the top of the page, you'll see a horizontal bar. Click on newsletter, enter your email address, and the next BH email newsletter, which we send out about every other day, sometimes consecutive days, you'll find in that newsletter how what's the voucher code, what's the way to get this system for only $69. Never been possible in history for anybody to install this system on their 1911 for such a low price. And this is very, very on purpose on our part. We want to get this system more widely used in the marketplace, and we know the potential for this system in terms of demand has got to outnumber the potential for the high power, because there's just so many different guns have been made from the 1911 platform. Folks, thanks for watching this very, very much. Thank you for being a BH veteran. That means you're either one of our past customers or you're a subscriber to our email newsletter. We appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for watching. I'm Mark Allen, BH Spring Solutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com, and this has been Good Monday Morning with BH Spring Solutions.